All right, 4.2 food secrets. Jumping right into caloric intake. So caloric intake is pretty interesting. It's something that is not we don't think about it too much. We have an idea about it, but we don't really. We kind of get used to eating foods that are super high caloric intake that we don't really, I think, understand about the simplicity of how we can lose weight, understanding caloric intake. Um, and really another reason why we'd want to understand the microbe diet and realize how much better it is if we can um, eat more and lose weight, which is really what the plant-based diet does for us. um, which so basic stuff about caloric intake. It's calories are units of energy. um, every food we have has a different amount of energy per what do I do in calories per pounds. So this is kind of pretty simple. Fruits and vegetables have 140 to 240 calories per pound. Um, Legumes 310 to 780. Meat 400 to 870. Um, uh, Cereals, chips 1480 to 1760. That's backwards. Um, and nuts to 2400 to 3200. And then of course butter and other kind of high fats around 4,000, 3,000. So this is really interesting to know because if we're having a small amount of food with meat, bread, dairy, and some oil, we could be having a little bit of food, and it'll be almost more than 1,000 calories. And 1,000 calories takes like 3 hours on the treadmill to burn off around. Um, Jogging too, like hardcore jogging. Um, so it's a lot, right? It's a lot of calories to be eating for just a little bit. But then you can, on the other hand, you can have a huge bowl of salad with beans, with nuts, with fruit. Huge bowl full of nutrients, full of vitamins, minerals, full of complex carbs for the microbes to eat. Tastes really good, and they can be around 600 calories, and it will fill you up like double as much as a cheeseburger and fries will. Um, so this is the kind of diet. This is kind of interesting too because when you start getting used to this, you start understanding this. It's it's hard to change your taste buds, but over time it does kind of change. You do kind of develop a different taste to it because we see that these foods with these super high caloric intakes, really besides nuts, they get addicting because they're chemical experiments. They're synthetic. They're man-made experiments to make money. So you know, they have a huge amount of calories, and they do something even worse because they're addictive to us. They really make us release so much dopamine and so much happiness when we eat them that it's distorting our life because eating food should not be a source of happiness really. It really shouldn't. It should just be just a way of getting energy, way of having an amazing life, to be able to do all the things we want to do. Shouldn't be like this big thing where we all want to have so much joy just around eating. Um, it's just a kind of should be kind of a casual, not eating like to taste of the amazing things there are. Like yeah, things taste great, but having things hit the 300 to 500 micrograms of dopamine is just like not natural at all. It's just not natural at all. That's the thing. It's not saying it's good or bad. It's just not natural. It's not good for the microbes because when we get our body used to used to having a nice bowl of fruit in the morning, just a bowl of fruit, not a giant bacon, egg, and cheese. Yeah, it doesn't taste as good, but over time, you'll start to really feel the benefits, and then the taste buds will change, and you'll start to really your body will start to really crave it. But yeah, it's unfortunate how it takes some getting used to switching over this caloric intake side. But I think that understanding this is really helps to just eat healthier. So another thing that is a huge secret, as I was saying a little bit earlier in the last one, is herbs. Herbs. What the heck are herbs? Salt and pepper, oregano for pizza. Herbs have actually been one of the most valuable things that all royal families, royal kings really have been paying tons of money for since the beginning of time. More than jewels, and as I get into. But this is because these are the only things that really can keep people alive um, at a certain stage. Uh, these are there have been all over the world. There are different herbs that have different medical benefits, different flavors that do different things. There's two really categories of herbs: medical herbs and food herbs. Medical herbs are more extreme. They're usually taken from like barks or roots, and they're really strong and really they have a more like a very strong flavor, and they're very rare. You will hardly find them unless you really know what they are. They're very like not common, but food herbs are extremely common. They've traveled all across the world. We have put them on everything. There are these food herbs are not just it tastes like it's a, we gotta put it some uh we don't just have these we just one thing for this herb with this food that we use the one herb for, like pizza we use oregano, or cilantro we use for tacos and stuff like that in America. But these herbs are more than just a little bit of flavor. They have super nutrients. They're basically all considered superfoods, in my opinion, because they have minerals, vitamins, minerals, and they do something else. They have a lot of them help our digestion. A lot of them help our digestion or our body in another way. Like crazily conveniently, they do some magical thing for our body. And the main one of the main things they do is that they just help with our digestive tract. They go along the digestive tract as like security guards, making sure everything's going good. Everyone's really on top of stuff. Um, because they neutralize bad bacteria. One of the few things that neutralize bad, well, there's so many of them. It's like it goes with the fruits, vegetables, and nuts, mixing it with stuff that just kills bacteria naturally, that doesn't harm the body at all. Oregano even is one of the most powerful herbs. Every pizza shop in America has a freaking whole thing of it. So this stuff is totally overlooked. Herbs are one of the most valuable things there are in today's society. No matter what anyone says, it's still a $1 billion market to this day, after being a $1 billion market for the past few thousand years. Um, and uh, 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 so an interesting thing I like to add about herbs. So we'll just go through this a little. So on the book, I have go through tea and herbal tea. So teas are a big way we can get herbs. And so tea is a specific herb, the Camilla something herb, and it's from all white tea, black tea, green tea. It's all from this specific herb from Asia that's now grown all around the world. But it has a natural caffeine in it, so it's been good, really popular. So that's what when you someone says I want a cup of tea, they're talking about a specific one herb. And it's a great herb, has a lot of benefits. It has caffeine, which is like the main reason that it's got so popular. Now we have coffee, which is like 50 times more caffeine. But herbal teas, which are actually more popular throughout history and have like insane amount more benefits than just one single herb, because it includes all herbs, anything you can put in water is considered an herb. Well, if it's healthy for you, you'd want to do that. But so there's so many different things we can put from all around the world, and they're really cheap too. Getting a fancy raw herbs from that only grow in some other part of the world can be possible now with Amazon. We can just get herbs from all around the world, taste these amazing flavors from China to South America to India, and they're all very unique. They all have something different. And there's just so many, and it's just so it's more than just like a diet. It's like a fun activity for adults should be having. It's just trying a bunch of herbs, seeing how you like them in teas, seeing how you can use them in foods. because there's so many, and we should be able to do more than just follow recipes like a lot of us can only do. But that's because America, we didn't really get too into a food culture, and I'm gonna get into that actually. I think I'm gonna skip right into it. Yes, because this is a. If you want to read, go along with it, I have some talk about tea. We have some microbe friendly sweeteners. So yeah, going into tea, using sugar in tea is totally toxic. It, as we know, destroys microbes. Even using artificial sweeteners that are not sugar free destroy the microbes. So there's a few ways we can get that sweet flavor without stuff that toxifies our microbiome. Because this is another huge thing that happens. We drink these healthy things and we put sugar in it and all this toxic stuff in our coffee every day, and it's just really bad. It's like an acidic turns something healthy into something super acidic. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna break it right there, and then we'll get back to another part of tea and herbal teas, more of a history standpoint, which is really cool.